Oh my gosh, my hands are going to. I'm just gonna smush that together. Make a big old.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. This month we have a little skate for our paint night. So as we have done this in the past, I'm gonna kind of break this up into pieces here for us. So I've got the background that we're gonna start with, and then we will work our kind of way forward with this. And I'm going to make sure that I'm not seeing my other screen popping up here in case we have anybody join us for our meeting here. All right, so we have our colors, and for this one, you guys can kind of create your sky as you will, because it's kind of just got like a dark blue for your sky, but you can kind of create whatever color scheme you want with it. I'm just gonna stick with the blue on mine. And before I actually get my sky in there for the background, I want to make sure I have space left for my legs, so I'm not painting them over my sky. So I'm actually just going to kind of quickly sketch in some rectangles here and like an area to make for my boots, because this is snow behind the boots and I can always get that in there with the white. Pretty simple, but I just want to leave some space for some legs. So I'm just going to quickly put these in here. And if I want to adjust these, I can always push the blue back in it, but it's going to be a lot harder to, and this isn't going to be perfect. This is just me getting a rough outline of, there's going to be a foot here, right? So I just want to know that I need some space for some feet. All right, and we have our couple different sizes. So I would say this is about a 1-inch brush. So I'm going to do this to kind of block in my sky back here. And with the blue, all right, if you do straight blue, my straight blue is kind of dark. I'm actually going to add some white into it to kind of lighten it up. This is more of like a, kind of got a green in it a little bit, so it's got a little bit of yellow. But you can kind of create whatever sky you want with yours. So I'm just going to kind of quickly get this in here. And if you've been with our Zoom before from last time, it goes for about 45 minutes. So I'm going to try and get it all in here in that time, and it should be pretty good on that time limit, because it's just a fairly couple pieces, lots of details, more than a lot of instruction on it. And if you notice on this, it's kind of got like a hill for the background, so you can kind of give a little bit of curve to your sky, or you can make it straight, all up to you. I kind of just block it in there. I'm just going to do it really quickly with my color. And should have put something down so I don't get this all over my table. All right, and I'm going to have to be adjusting with my dot cam here. It's kind of having a hard time focusing with my hand being in there. So I got some sky in there. All right, I can always kind of add some more details with it, because in this one it's got some snow, it's even got some like fun hearts. This is actually an illustration, so it was drawn, but we're going to take it as a painting. So all of these like details and things, if you want, you could hand draw them instead of use a paintbrush to get that kind of illustrative look that it's got with it. So you can kind of take your sky down as far as you want. And the next thing I have is to get the snow in here. So it's really how much snow that you want. So I might even bring my sky down a little bit, but the whole bottom part's snow, and this snow's got a little bit of a tint of blue to it. So when you go ahead and do that, I'm going to see if we have anybody here with joining us. If I can. Nope, we're good. All right, my moment of pause here. So I'm going to go straight into my snow, and with this one, I'm just going to have a lot more white to it. kind of tone it down a little bit. And because it's white, I'm gonna do it pretty faintly anyways, just kind of get it on there. And it should have plenty of time to dry if you don't do it super thick for the next couple coats of that go on top of it. And man, I'm getting it on my table, but that's okay, it'll clean up. Because we'll do our boots next because they have a lot more detail on them, so that way they have time to dry. And you can paint your boots whatever color you want as well.
You can paint yours like blue,
sorry, that's my daughter.
yellow, gray, blue, yellow, gray.
She wants to join in with us. I like to actually blend my colors together, so it's probably kind of hard to see. I got a little low light going on here, but I'm kind of actually just blending in my blue sky with my snow down here. And I can always come back and clean that up with my smaller paintbrush later on. Hey, sister, you need to chill.
Mom.
Right. And since I'm doing this on the table, I'm doing this on the table so that you can see on my camera, but I would definitely suggest doing it on an easel or a propped up surface. I'm having to hold on to it in the dry spot so that my canvas doesn't move around on me. Also, you have an 11 by 14 canvas. Mine's actually 8 by 10. It's just what I had. So the proportion scale should be about the same if you're curious about that as well. And it, like I was saying, it's kind of hard to see, but I kind of do my technique where it's a little bit more loose brush strokes. That's just my style that I like, blending in some of my colors together that way. Okay, so just roughly getting some foggy snow down there, and I'm definitely going to clean my lines up here after a bit. I can kind of just blend these together. And it almost creates like a shadowy effect on my snow from my sky, if I want to say that, I guess. All right, so just kind of blocking in our background.
Space is gonna be.
And then we're gonna go into painting our boots. And so, like my daughter was mentioning, you can paint them whatever color you wish. And the picture here had them white, right? And it's got some pink leggings on them, so those colors can even be different too. So to whatever color you want, if you have your color wheel, then you'll be able to see the colors next to each other would be mixing together to make those color combinations. If you mix across the color wheel, that's how you're going to get brown. So those are some questions that you might have. Since this picture has them white, I don't really want them to be white because it's going to be really hard to see. So we're going to go out to the box here and we're going to paint them red because, you know, it's fun. It's Valentine's Day. It's February. We can paint them red.
Yeah, because Valentine is coming this way.
I'm going to tint them down with some white. And this shape, if you're having a difficult time with this shape, it's just a straight rectangle and then like a rectangle diagonal across to down and to the right. So if you really feel like you need to, you can kind of block this out in that shape, you know, kind of like this. And then you can kind of piece it together. All right, it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, if you're like, oh, maybe I need to make it bigger, you can always take your background color, which is the snow, and once it's dry and everything, you can always kind of push it in if you feel like it's too fat. You can,
agree with that one.
you can tone it down a little bit. I feel like her foot needs to be, I'm gonna say she's wearing a pink boot. Her foot just kind of needs to be pulled out here.
I think
it's more like a snow boot.
Their legs too big. Blue.
All right, so I've kind of just got it blocked in there. Maybe as I feel like I go around with it, it's not going to look so much like a sock. So it might feel that way right now, but I'm kind of just getting it in there, just like I did the sky and the snow, getting it blocked in there just to kind of get a feel for it. Also want to mention that in this picture, this boot actually looks much smaller than this one because it's further off in the distance. It's showing space with this way. So that would help making it smaller, right? If you want to do that, because they're not right next to each other, that would make a little bit of a difference as to how they're kind of portrayed. So right now you're kind of just getting that feel of it looks like a sock, which is okay. Little red socks on the snow. Nothing wrong with that.
Because you can put it anywhere.
Right, and I feel like this is awful chunky right here, so I feel like I might need to come back with my snow here and fix that. But I think once you get some of the details on it, you get the skate on there, and do make sure you leave room because you got to put a skate on the bottom of this. And the more, you know what, this is an illustration kind of where we're coming from, so if it looks a little bit, you know, whimsical, it's okay. We're kind of going with that feel with this one. All right, so we have our base for our boot. Yes, it looks like a sock, but we're good to go. And then you can kind of decide, because we want it to dry before we put some details on it and kind of trim it up. Decide what color you want your, I might even want to bring these skates up a little bit. You want your legs to be, because I feel like this is an awful big leg. I feel like it needs to be
Trim down.
No, it needs, my skate needs to be pushed up a bit here. All right. And on this, if you notice, I'm sorry, I'm having issues with my camera here. If you notice that it's got this kind of curve up, so it's kind of going around the foot, that would kind of help even make it not look like so much like a sock too by doing that, where the boot kind of comes up front. And your dad's gonna talk. All right. So my next step here, we're going to be looking at my sock color. And you know what, I have red, and red looks really good with green, but then we're gonna say that looks too Christmassy. So, and also this is striped. You can make your socks whatever color that you want. Yeah. She's so nice. So I kind of just decide what color would go best with this. And it was originally pink. Right? So I kind of have almost like this bluish purplish tint back here. So yellow would go really good with it. I'm thinking it really needs to kind of be really light. So we might do a, you know what, I didn't even get yellow on my paint palette here.
I thought it would dye like right now.
So I'm gonna get a little bit of yellow with some white. And we're gonna get my socks in here. These are striped, but I think I might do something a little bit different with them. Oh my gosh, makes me think of Dr. Seuss. That book with this fox on socks. He wears red socks. Maybe red wasn't a good idea, but we'll make it work. Okay, and I want to trim these up to make them nice and thin here. So kind of just, I'm actually using my second smallest, my medium-sized brush for this one. So this is kind of like, I'd call it a 1/4 inch brush to get my legs in here. And I do want to add details just to give it some kind of fun feeling to it. All right. So cute. So we had the stripes, but I think we'll let it dry and then we can come back with some different details too, which would be kind of cool.
What's going on?
Bear with me just a second. There's a charger like under my computer or under my TV plugged into the wall. That way you know which one to get, because if you go on my computer, yes. There is a charger under my TV. That's the charger I need. Okay, that's the key to getting to school. This is key to getting home. All right, so our next detail here is I have to add in the skates here and then add in lots of details to this because I think this is mostly about the details and I think that's what makes it so great. The skates on this, they're going to be whatever color you want. These kind of are black, they're pretty dark. So whatever color you want for them is fine. If you want like I'm thinking like a dark purple, so red with blue is kind of what I'm wanting here because it kind of goes in with the sky that I've got. So add lots of blue with just a little bit of red to it and we'll make it pretty dark.
Anybody else?
No, I don't see you. And for that one, you can use your small paintbrush so that you can kind of just get it in there. All right, and then you can kind of make it bigger as you go. Get that feeling in there. All right, so it's just going to be kind of your straight line down here. Actually, I want some more blue with that. Straight line down, back here, and then you have your line back here, and that's what this skate is connected to. So I'm using my small paintbrush, and then it's going to be the curve of the skate going back this way. All right, and then it's actually got a curl to it, which is kind of cool and fun. All right, so that's a detail. If you want to do that, you can, feel free to. Otherwise, the skate doesn't really curl, but you know, and it's actually got a pretty decent curl to it. So you can, it's got a pretty nice chunky curl to it, so it's kind of fun. I'm adding white just because it's the paint that I'm using. It's kind of thick, so I'm actually using my white because my white is kind of helping me to blend it. So if you're noticing that I'm toning it down, it's because of that. That's why. So I will darken it up with some blue, but my white just helps me to blend my paint together here.
Your skates. Pretty.
All right, so there's this in here, but I feel like it definitely needs to be much chunkier. Well, they have lots of detail. We got lots to go on them. All right, so there's one skate. Oh my goodness. We're getting there. Okay.
They're too big.
All right, and then I have my other skate that's gonna go back here doing the same thing. Oops, it's a little thick. That's all right, we can fix that. Doing the same thing. All right, my paintbrush is having some issues getting to its thin point. There we go. And we're gonna curl it. And I actually have a white space here. I did not get all my snow in there, but I can touch that up with my small paintbrush, which I'm gonna do touching up a lot with my small paintbrush to kind of get all those fine details in there. That'll definitely help pull this all together. So it's always, you know, I gotta think of this as a long process of just getting all the pieces together kind of in layers, and that's how I like to take it. So if you're feeling like you don't like it right now, just wait. Wait until we get all of this. Yeah, we can add some snow. We can add some fun details to it. All right. And I like to add lots of details if on the bottom of the skate to make it look like it's actually touching the ground here. The original wouldn't have this because it's an illustration. It's not actually a paint. But take some of my blue, just full blue, and then I'm just adding a line underneath of it just to make it look like it's got some three-dimensionality to it, and I think that'll help with a lot of these pieces as we go to finish them up with our details. All right, so I'll even do that around the bottom of my boots as well and all the other pieces. Okay, so here's the time where we can start adding in lots of fun details. So on this, we have the laces that go with this. So it's up to you how you'd like to do them, but it's just dots down, and I'm not going to tell you how many you need, but that's definitely going to help with the curvature of it not looking so much like a sock. So it's got a strip of gray going down, and it's got dots alternating on both sides with the laces going through that. So to start, definitely I'll do that strip down the middle, and I'm just going to do really, really light blue. So white with just a tidbit of blue, just kind of like my snow back here. All right, and so that's going to be kind of where this peak was at that I had. I'm going to take it down from there. All right, and then I'm just going to kind of follow the curvature of my boot. You know, I kept calling it a sock. It's my boot. All right, and then it's going to stop here. All right, and then it curves around the toe to kind of give that curvature. And so I'm going to go almost right where I had where my skate came down. All right, so now we're kind of piecing it together here. Do the same thing on the other side. So where this curvature was, right, that peak there, I'm going to go down and kind of just follow the curvature of my boots. And then once I get to the toe, again, I'm going to have a little line that kind of curves around my toe here. All right, and then here come the details with the holes for the laces. All right, and I know I'm kind of quickly going through some of these pieces here, but if you have this video, it's always a great time to hit pause, work through it. I'm kind of on a deadline here with the Zoom recording, so don't feel like you have to go at the pace that I'm going. And you can space these out as far as you want. And even a really good idea, we've talked about this in the past, is using the tip of your paintbrush, dipping into your paint, and then you get the same dots each time. But I already got paint on my paintbrush. I'm just going to keep going. And I'm just going to go down and down. You can make them as small or as big as you want. All right. Like I was saying, add a little bit of whimsy to it. It's okay. They don't even have to be the same number. Who's going to count? Okay, maybe I would. But 1, 2, 3, 9. I have 9 there. Ooh, an odd number. Which means I would have to do an odd number over here too. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just do.
I know that.
Do 9 over here, and then I can just go back here on the other side.
And do it now.
Excuse my hand for a second. I'm just going to do this, and like I said, I'm just trying to quickly get this on here so that I can get lots of details for you guys. All right. So if you're thinking maybe it's starting to look like a boot, we're slowly getting there. It might be that I need to trim up some pieces here. Like I feel like I need to trim in this, look like the back of the foot, trim in these pieces. They look a little chunky, and then kind of clean up some of my edges here. So that's what I'll talk you through with some of these details. And the laces are red, but because I did my boots red, we're gonna do my laces a different color, and I might just stick with the blue that I had, or I think we'll just go with white. So just a white line, and you know what, you can get really creative with this, and you could even, you know, do some crisscrossing. You don't have to be straight across. So you're just gonna connect, and if you feel like you don't want to do this, well, if you feel like it's still too wet, you can always go to other details. So I'm just going to kind of quickly show you very, very faintly with my paintbrush. I'm doing it ever so slightly. Just connecting my 2 lines, and I'll go down doing that, all right, on both sides. It's got even more fun details on it, but I'm not going to go all out with that on these, but you can add whatever you want to yours. You can make those fun. Add some details to my socks, kind of finish up trimming around pieces. Start adding some snow and some details to the ground if I want. So the snow, you can make some big dots, you can make some little dots, right? You could add some trees back there. You can add whatever you want. You could add, you know, the moon. It's up to you. And just like the technique I was telling you with the boots, you can do the back of your paintbrush. You can have as many snow dots as you want, right? You would even probably have snow on the snow, right? If it's snowing, it would be snowing on everything.
Even on yourself.
Right? Snowing on everything, even on the skates. All right, even on the socks, right? Okay. So we're having our details and our finishing touches. So I'm looking at my drawing over here, and I'm even seeing like the curvature on the bottom of the boots, right? So it doesn't look so chunky. I can kind of clean this up down here, right? So I might, you know, say I want to kind of clean that line up a bit here. I want to clean up here, make that not so chunky, right? Make this not so chunky. All right, and then I had some pieces over here that I want to clean up a little bit. Nope.
Nobody popped out.
Nope. Hopefully that does hurry up. All right. I know, and I'm so used to having people while I'm doing this. It's like I'm so used to having questions or anything, but the only one on here with me, straight from the library. Ooh, I feel like this is a little funky over here too, but we might just leave it. It looks like Ronald Donald's shoe. I like a clown shoe. We're good to go. Maybe some cleaning up over here. All right, getting there. Slowly getting there. I still have to decide what I want to do for my stockings here. Stockings, leggings. Ooh, maybe you want to have socks on top. Maybe you're wearing yellow pants and you got socks on top of them. Wool socks with little details. You can make this as fun as you want. So we had stripes. I feel like I want to do stripes. I'm going to keep going over here with my laces, just so you can see what the finishing touch is. If you feel like,
maybe you could have two different like ones. Right?
All right, so slowly getting there. I feel like they're not really skates. Yeah, I feel like they're still snow boots or something. Like we're going skiing. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's because I painted them red instead of white. I don't know.
Yeah, well, no.
It might be. Sometimes it's fun to just go outside the box here and make it look like Ronald McDonald because I picked yellow and red. Okay, so, all right. Maybe I do want to add some of these fun little dots that they have around there. We could do some of those. For that, I would actually use, I'm going to be lazy and use the tip of my paintbrush. And so this illustrator just had some dots around here, like here and here, right? And I am all for them being like all fat and chunky too, so. These don't have to be girl skates. These could be boy skates, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Boy skates are fun. Oh my gosh.
All right, so what are we missing here? I'm gonna do the leggings, and then, like I was saying, all these fun details that are in the snow, you could do that with pencil. You could do whatever you want. Those are just some flowers and little whatnots that they threw in the snow, but I'm not suggesting that you really have to do that. That's kind of a different technique here. And I know that I went pretty quickly through this, but I'm just gonna kind of trim up some edges because I've got lots of time still here on my video. So cleaning up here with some of my snow. As I was saying, I'm gonna add some details around the bottom of my skates to make them a little bit more three-dimensional, where they're not so blocky, I guess we could call it. So we're gonna go in with the blue here. You notice I keep holding off those leggings because I haven't decided what I want to do with them yet. Maybe if my daughter keeps talking, she'll figure something out for me.
Oh, I know what you could do. You could like put stripes or.
I thought she'd say rainbow or something, but.
Or like snowflakes.
Put snowflakes on the leggings?
Yeah, like snowflake leggings.
There's no. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep putting my head in there. I'm not even paying any attention. I apologize. I am like so forgetting that I am on camera right now. All right, so we're gonna.
film it.
Congratulations. All right. I feel like there's some things I can add on here as well if I keep thinking about it. Right, and I might even just add a little bit of shadow around that as I can. Oh, I hope you guys are having fun with this one. This one's funny. I feel like this is, for some reason, a lot different than what we normally would feel like, but I think it's really cool and fun.
I'm gonna put this on the paintbrush. It's not paint.
Lots of different
Details.
Concepts and challenges. All right, here we go. Let's see. I think that's sky. We gotta finish up my sky back here with my lady's leggings.
Who is that?
You know what? Purple and yellow go really good together, so we are going to make some details on this that are purple so that they don't look so brightly insanely yellow. So we will be working on that here as we are finishing up. And I'm needing to kind of clean up this edge here. So I know there's a lot of white on my paintbrush, but I just want to clean this up. Just so it doesn't look so
dramatic.
off. Oh no. I got red all over my paintbrush. It's okay.
And got some.
There's nothing wrong with making messes.
But there's always enough to clean up.
Oh, I just have to laugh at that, guys. Come on.
Well, there always is a next time.
Okay.
When will I be a baby?
Okay.
Again?
Blending this in here. Got it? I think we got it. Looks pretty good. Okay, so I said purple. All right, so purple, here we go. You know what, just make it worse and just, you know, you gotta have some fun with it. Just make your whole entire finger red. All right, and I apologize. I just had a thing tell me my computer is dying. But I have my charger coming on its way, so hopefully I got 14%. We should be able to make it, right?
Yeah.
I still have 10, 15 minutes left on this video, so we should be all right. Purple, which is red, which is all over my finger right now. Purple is red and blue. So let's see. Is this purple the purple that I feel like should go with this yellow? Do I want it lavender, which is more muted? Or do I want it a deep purple, which is going to have lots more? We're going to go deep. Deep purple maybe? Okay. I'm going to just dive in, and we are going to do stripes because my brain just doesn't want to tell me to do anything else. So maybe we won't because it's blending in with the sky too much. We might have to add some light to that. Looks like the sky just came over on her lighting.
Okay.
Or maybe it just needs more red. I don't know.
Okay.
A red purple? Yeah, red purple. Who doesn't like a red purple? It goes in with the boots. We can do red purple, right? And then I might actually change the leggings so they're not yellow. So please, what are we doing, Joe? My stripes look a little off. They're a little wonky. So the yellow, I'm not digging it. We're gonna change it, and I'm going to take this red purple that I have, and we're actually going to just tone it down a ton. And we're gonna have some values. You keep hearing me say the word value. Value is just a color with white to it, so it just makes it lighter. And here we have To the Rescue.
Daddy, what kind of touch you want?
All right, this is much nicer. I don't have Ronald McDonald.
No.
Okay. So we are at
Wait till
38. All right, we got power. Okay, so just in this last touches here, we're just going to be adding in our final details. And I feel like I'm still not digging it. Maybe it's the red, it's just too red. You know what you learn? So we kind of just work with what you got here. Oh no, I'm pulling into my sky. You know what? It's okay. It's okay. Just make it work. And I'm not liking the stripes either, so we're just gonna blend those all open. Got my stripes. Definitely, this is much better than yellow. All right, friends.
Almost done. Because we have one more time.
Well, I've enjoyed this one. This was, like I said, I felt like it was a little bit different than some we've done in the past, but it's had its challenges, and for some reason I'm just having a little moment here with my color choices. Maybe I should have stuck what was in the original. I don't know. Sometimes nothing always works out, but I'm gonna add in some white on the sides just to kind of make it a little bit more three-dimensional. And so this kind of stands out on this. So it's kind of making it look like her legs a little bit more rounded. All right, so it's not so flat, as we would say. We don't want her to have a flat leg. She wants to have a rounded leg. So that would be where it's, the curvature is just going around it. Oh my gosh, I apologize. Where just like you have something that's cylinder, right, it's gonna be curved, and so you're gonna kind of do that with your color choices. So it goes from light to dark around here. That's what I'm trying to accomplish. Even though you can see some yellow sneaking back in there. So the dark side would be way over here, right? So I'm just gonna give you guys some tips. Give you guys some tips on how to add in some a little bit more artsy details to it. Maybe I just don't have a whimsical side right now. Okay, I'm gonna blend it in a little bit here. It's not so harsh of a line. We're having some blending moments. All right. So here was the original we had, right? Lot different than mine, but I love how everybody can create theirs to make their own. It's their own unique style to this. I feel like she still needs some details on her legs. I don't know. I can't figure out quite what I want yet, but the other details we just didn't talk about is if you want to add some illustrations to it, feel free to kind of just add whatever details you want. You know, I guess she's not really skating on the snow. I don't know why I said that. This would be ice, right? So there really wouldn't be, you know, anything special on this. So the snow, right, that we have in there, that's all over the place. You guys should decide how much snow you want on it. And I feel like we're pretty good on the way we're looking here. We got kind of successful looking boots, right? Looks very similar, it's just different color choices. So I feel like it's just kind of different feeling that it has to it. All right, so I feel like that is right on time here with us. And we'll be posting this so that you guys can kind of go back and pause as you need. Right. So I feel like this is kind of a wrap on our second Zoom for paint night on the fly here with our skates. Right. So hopefully you guys can join us for another, and we will be back in the library with some different accommodations as well. As I'm looking at it, I'm still seeing some details that I want some dark around here. See, the more you stare at something, the more you see. All right, and Doris, are you popping on here?
Yeah, we'll get it posted tomorrow, and yeah, I definitely see a lot of more details I want to add. So might be a while before I post my finished product.
I know. I think I need to spend some time away from this and my daughter and see what I actually want this to look like. It needs something.
Yeah,
For sure. All right, so this is for now. All right, I did very, very fast. So this was just 45 minutes going through this quickly. But our normal times are 2 hours to paint. So don't feel like you have to rush through this. Pause and use your time. All right, thank you for joining us. And if I can find my